I have the pleasure of sitting down with Ivy Saebens. Ivy, you had such an interesting year. You not only come to the barrel races and futurity, but you also rodeo. And that's maybe what most people watching would know you from is your rodeo career. So tell us what it was like to rodeo in 2020.
Um, it was a mess. You know, like you starting out the year, I kind of have like my preset rodeo run that I go on. I don't really ever go very hard in the wintertime, and I kind of get to roll in a little more before the 4th of July, and then I go really hard at the end of the year. I really like the Northwest run. And as we were at Houston, I was in one of the sets before it had gotten canceled, and when they canceled Rodeo Houston, it kind of got real. Like, oh, I think this is a serious thing. And then, they send us home and everything is pretty much canceled for X amount of time. Well, I think my husband and I kind of made a mistake when we went home because we're like, man, they're just going to cancel everything. We should just enjoy this. Where, you kind of already have that preset mindset that you're not, because rodeo, you really got to be hooked mentally. Like with the driving, the windshield time, the failures over and over and over, entering 8 rodeos, not pulling a check, and then being able to go to the 9th one and you win first, and then of course you're hooked again. But so you got to be in the right mindset for it, and neither one of us were. I don't want to say half-assed it, but I didn't expect them to move the NFR. I didn't expect them to get it done just with how everything was progressing with COVID, and we watched the news. Probably shouldn't watch the news, but you watch the news and it seems like everything's going to be canceled. And so when they started to get rolling again, I wasn't mentally prepared, as a lot of people were like. I think there are a lot of people that looked at the COVID year as a big opportunity. They're like, this is a big opportunity. I'm not going to have to, go to these certain places and run against these girls at these pens where their horses love it. And I think that those people got a one-up on people that were like me. Kind of me and Nellie Miller were talking about it. It's like, we're like, these are the rodeos we go to. This is where we do good. And we just banked on it. And totally was not the right plan at all. And then, I get halfway into what rodeos they did have, and J-Lo almost dies. And then I'm scrambling and trying to find a horse, and it was a wreck. But honestly, as much as I thought, like, the cutoff day when they would say who the top 15 was, and then I wasn't in it, I really thought that I was gonna have a really rough day. But it was just not liberating, but I mean, there was nothing else I could have done. There's nothing else I could have done to make it work. And, if I would have had J-Lo, I was barely out of it, and I didn't even get to run her at the highest purses that were, remaining. And so barely out of it. I just, on the inside, I'm like, well, J-Lo would have been okay. I would have been fine, But so it was a messy year for sure.
Well, thank you for taking us through that. And you're a champion. You're a winner. You win a lot wherever you go. And it's so, I think, important for people listening to understand that everybody can have a year where things don't go according to plan. And that's the reality, especially in the rodeo world. So now switching over to events like this, futurities and open barrel races, tell me about this weekend and who you're running.
Well, I grew up going to the fraternities and stuff with my parents, but then I kind of got away from it, and it's a lot more fun to run something that knows what it's doing. You could go like this. That's a lot more fun. These girls that do that, so I'm like, you're tough. But I came here with a mare. Her name is Elsa. I call her Elsa. She's by Epic Leader and out of J-Lo. And I love her, I really do. And she just happens to be in the ruby buckle. And Epic just got put in the pink buckle, so I was super excited about that because I think she'll have a gem of Derby year. Just because I haven't really taken her anywhere. I probably wasted a really badass futurity horse, really badass futurity year. But I was really trying to go to the NFR like a real rodeo girl. And yeah, but she's cool. She feels just like J-Lo. It's crazy. Like, she does same mannerisms. Like, when she takes off in the alleyway, she shoves her shoulder to the right, and it's weird. Like, it's super weird. And today, like at the third barrel, she spooked at it in exhibition, so I was like, golly, I don't know how this is gonna go. And so, I sat like 4 strides back and like wiggled the rein at her, and she did exactly like she sat back, and I got a little tight, and I just picked up on her just like J-Lo, and it's crazy. Like, it's how similar they are makes it super easy for me. But I didn't train her or anything. Cody Hyde trained her, but I love her. I really do. She's cool.
I've heard you talk in the past about how important it is to keep things simple when you're running barrels. So go a little deeper on that. Share your philosophy and your mindset behind when you go into that alley, keeping things simple as possible.
Yeah, I just like to keep it, I mean, 3 steps maximum of what I think mentally when you're going that fast, it all pretty much is muscle memory. And it is, your subconscious is better than your conscious mind. It truly is. It's faster, it's better, it's more precise. So I think if you could get in that headspace, and it takes a lot of practice to be able to get in that headspace, and I still don't do it every time, but like today, and not having expectations, I think is when you do the best. But it's really just, being able to, I like to do eye progressions of just like riding to my spot, sitting, and then personally, I like horses that you can handle and pull on, and I know my horses don't look like you can pull on them, but if I get in a bind and pull on them, they're going that way, and that's all I need, really, out of my horses. That's it.
It's always good to keep things simple, especially when you have inconsistencies like different size arenas and all the factors that come in when you're rodeoing. So now tell me about you and your husband. You both rodeo professionally. Tell us about that and how you guys coordinate schedules and make it all work.
Billy's a planner. He knows where he's going, what time, how many minutes per day he is spending preparing for that specific thing. And I don't know what time I'm leaving until I leave. Usually, like, if I set a goal time, it's about 2 hours later than that. That's kind of where we're at with that. But it's hard in the summer. Like, slacks don't line up. He and the team roping is insane, right? Like, they freaking have these jackpots that pay $30,000 like 3 times a month, and the entry fees are $5,000, and he's going here and there, and then he's got he runs like a breeding program and a rope horse training program for Dixon Flowers. So he does the rope horse futurity and the world show stuff, and so. As far as like every facet that you could have in an industry, he has it all. He's got the outside horses, he's got 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, the futurity horses, the open horses, head horses. I give him mad props. He rides like 20 a day. I'm like max 6 over here, maximum. Which I grew up with my dad, you know what I mean? We had like 75 head growing up, doing chores in the snow and riding out in the snow. I'm like, man, I'm riding 6 horses and calling it good. I think Jordan Briggs has got this figured out. I'm like 2 a year, which I know she's got more than that and puts way more time in that, but I like to keep that in the back of my mind. I'm like, she's 2 a year, man.
Now, with having a coach and a husband like that, are we going to see you crack out in the breakaway next year at Ruby Buckle and Pink Buckle?
Absolutely not. Dude, I would embarrass myself. I've never roped off of a horse. Actually, I did one time because I just wanted to embarrass Billy Jack, but he did say his favorite thing about me is that I don't rope. So I'm going to keep it that way. Yeah.
Well, we don't want to put the marriage on the line by you becoming a breakaway roper next year. So
that makes like 5 of us.
Ivy, you're so much fun. It's always fun to connect with you. We wish you the best of luck here this weekend and have a great time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.